Hi guys, how you doing? Welcome to week three. So I'm looking at this is the actual um, welcome message for week three that I've already composed before I made this video, so we can refer to it. So, anyways, we're looking at week two, recapping week two here. What did we do during week two? And then we have an introduction to week three. Over here we have our tasks and schedules, including our due date. So please pay attention to that. You guys are doing awesome with your due dates. Nobody's really turning materials in late, which is really fantastic. I think this whole class as a group is thoroughly engaged, and I'm super pleased. I can't stress that enough. You guys are doing fantastic. I've also included this now since we're talking about a grid, designing with grid a little bit this week. I included this video. It's actually a little mini lecture that I wrote up for the grid, and then I included this video and some examples of modular grids. So you can, please feel free to review that before you start any of this week's exercises. Okay, so basically, if we go through week three, it's, it's a lot of the same type. Well, let's jump over here. This is week three presentation. Now, listen, guys, listen, please. Do not attempt to do any of this week's exercises without reading this presentation as well as the required selections from your book. It's really important this week, especially more so than any other week, because there are a lot of technical considerations directly from the book and from the course lecture. So please, and by the way, guys, this lecture right here, week three, presentation structure and space, is a wonderful lecture. Wonderful. Couldn't have done better myself, and I've written thousands of articles on typography. So, well, yes, I have. So you are in good hands here. This is a phenomenal lecture here. So please, this is weird. This last, it's broken. I looked into replacing it, and I can't do anything as today is Sunday. So I'll try to get that replaced. But anyway, so that's not your mistake. That's definitely there. That 404 error for Zoom tool slideshow is definitely broken. Okay, so one thing I want to definitely go over is the assignment, the exercises for this week. So if we come over here, week three of our overview, which of course is really a great introduction to what we're doing this week. Presentation structure and space, as I just got done mentioning, is of the utmost importance. Then we have these assignment three typographic hierarchy, assignment three, part one and part two, first iteration, second iteration, and of course the associated critique board that's tied to that particular assignment. So what is the assignment asking for? Let's take a look. I want to describe this really quickly because, okay, so here we have the assignment, and I'm not going to read through the assignment. You can read through it. Basically, you're going to set up a 5 by 5 inch black background, white squares at 5 by 5 inches. It'll look just like this, okay? And then inside those squares, you're going to create these modular grids like this, okay? So that basically, if you imagine this as a informational graphic, there would be a circle right here and an arrow pointing right in there, meaning that this grid fits right in each one of these four little examples. So then what do we do? And that's what I mean, this predetermined. That's why it says you must first establish a predetermined grids system. So, that one part of the presentation where you place a word and then create the grid based on the word. And that is really a great way to start any project. But a predetermined grid is something different. A predetermined grid would be something like this. This would be a 5 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's what I thought. 5 by 7 grid. And that's a predetermined modular grid. Okay, so as far as this assignment goes, let's just take a look. You're going to do a bit of research on muscle cars. Those of you who are into muscle cars, I know there are a couple I remember from our introduction back during week one. So I know there's a couple people that are into cars. If you're not, that's cool. Don't worry about it. Just research. Like any other design project, you're not going to be familiar with all the design projects that come across your desk. That's where research comes in. So basically, you want to pick one vintage muscle car of the 60s or 70s. All right, and then what you're going to do is you're going to take this information here and you're going to follow these 4 scenarios. So example, this is the information you're going to use, okay, right here. And then in example 1, you're going to use your statistical card data, that's all that stuff, to arrange information in a logical order sequence based upon your grid. In this design, all your text must be the same point size and weight, no contrast can be used. Any hierarchy you establish must be accompanied by grouping. So in example 1, we're going to establish hierarchy simply by proximity and grouping. Okay. In number 2, we're going to introduce contrast by weight and scale. In number 3, we're going to introduce multiple contrasts. And in number 4, you're going to introduce everything with the image. Okay, so I just want to point something out to you guys. All right, it seems like a really daunting task. It's not. It's really easy. Just read through it a couple of times and then take a look at this guy right here. Where did it go? Here it is right here. This is from page 61 in your book. And again, I just got done mentioning how important the lectures are. The book as well, both books. Read the sections from the selections from you. This is right out of your book. And basically, this is what the assignment is. See how the first example, there's no hierarchy set. Second example, we're starting to establish hierarchy based on proximity. Proximity, logical order, and sequence. So the first one, we're establishing hierarchy based on grouping and proximity. Okay, that would correspond to this. Hang on, where did it go? This hierarchy based on grouping and proximity right here. Then you would start adding weight and scale right here. We can see weight and scale. Multiple contrasts of weight and scale here and here. And then, of course, your final would be your crop, a portion of your cropped car. So that would go in here somewhere. Okay, so please, again, page 61 from your book, and it's really a nice precursor to this assignment. All right, so you'll do assignment 1, and don't forget to submit by Wednesday night to the discussion critique board, where we'll go over that, and then you can go ahead and make your adjustments for the final adjustment Sunday night. Okay, that was a mouthful, and that took almost 8 minutes, and I think that's enough. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys have ample resources to get you through this week. This week's pretty grueling, I'm not going to lie. There's a lot to do. It's tough, and I've been teaching typography for many, many years. I've written several articles, and honestly, guys, you are in really, really good hands this week, because the book and the class lectures are just fantastic. Some of the best I've seen, honestly. And I've read them all, believe me. So anyways, all right, so I'm going to leave it at that. And don't forget, in our announcements over there, don't forget this. I've got this. This is a little mini lecture on how to use the grid itself and some examples. Okay, so there you have it. Welcome to week 3. Any questions, comments, concerns, or other, you know I'm right here, so please feel free to get with me. All right, thanks, everybody. See you in discussion board.